Energy. Everything we do needs energy. We use energy to do our homework, to play, to heat our houses, to move a car. Living things need energy to live. They get energy from food and the sun. Non-living things need energy to work. They use different forms of energy. Tools use energy from people moving them. Non-living things need energy to work. They use different forms of energy. Most machines use energy from electricity. Some machines get their electricity from batteries. Non-living things need energy to work. They use different forms of energy. Most means of transport use energy from burning fuel. Types of energy. There are many different types of energy. These are the 6 most important types. Energy can be kinetic energy, the energy of movement, such as thermal energy, kinetic energy and electrical energy. Or potential energy, stored energy to be used later, such as chemical energy. Energy can also be sound energy and light energy. Thermal energy. Thermal energy produces heat. The sun produces lots of thermal energy and heats our planet. Man-made source of heat. Anything that is hot has thermal energy. Kinetic energy. Moving things have kinetic energy. A bird flying and a knife cutting something both have kinetic. When we ride a bike we turn the chemical energy from the food we eat into kinetic energy. The wind is making the kite moves. Electrical energy. Electricity is electrical energy. We get our electricity from mains electricity and batteries. Light bulbs use electrical energy. A walkie-talkie uses batteries. Chemical energy. Any chemical change in matter has chemical energy. Chemical energy is stored in food or fuel. Food contains chemical energy. Our body turns this energy into thermal or kinetic energy. A car engine turns chemical energy into kinetic and thermal energy. Sound energy. Anything that makes a sound has sound energy. It's a form of energy we can hear. When we talk we produce sound energy. When you blow into a trumpet it has sound energy. Sound energy can be found in music, your voice and anything that vibrates. Sound energy can be natural or man-made. A dog barking, people talking, and a bird singing produce natural sound energy. A hairdryer, a walkie-talkie, and earphones produce man-made sound energy. Light energy. Light energy is a form of energy our eyes can detect. Traffic lights produce light energy. The sun produces light energy. Light bulbs have light energy when they are switched on. Energy changes. Energy can change from one form to another, but we can't create it and we can never make it disappear. A microwave gets electrical energy from mains electricity. It changes it into thermal energy to cook the food. A motorbike gets chemical energy from burning petrol. It changes it into kinetic energy when it moves. Plants get light energy from the sun. They change it into chemical energy when they make food. People get chemical energy from digesting food. We change it into kinetic energy when we are active, for example riding a bike, and thermal energy to maintain body temperature. Washing machines change electrical energy into kinetic energy, thermal energy and sound energy.
Sources of energy. Energy comes from non-renewable sources and renewable sources.
Non-renewable energy sources come from the ground or the seabed. Coal comes from the ground. Natural gas comes from the ground or from the seabed. Crude oil comes from the ground or from the seabed.
Coal comes from the ground. Coal is black and solid. It is extracted through mines. We burn coal in power plants to produce thermal energy. Crude oil comes from the ground or from the seabed. Crude oil is a black liquid. It is extracted using drills. Crude oil is processed into petrol. We burn petrol to produce thermal energy. Cars, buses or heaters burn petroleum to work. Natural gas comes from the ground or from the seabed. Natural gas is a mixture of gases. It is extracted using drills. We burn it to produce thermal energy. In some homes we burn natural gas to cook or to have a shower. Non-renewable energy sources. There is never new coal, petroleum or natural gas. They are limited and they will run out in the future. We cannot replace these natural materials. Burning them to get energy pollutes air and water. Renewable sources. The sun, wind, water and biomass are renewable sources of energy. Solar energy comes from sunlight. Solar panels change energy from the sun into electrical and thermal energy. Wind energy comes from moving air. Wind turbines change energy from the wind into electrical energy. Hydroelectric energy comes from moving water. Hydroelectric power stations, or dams, use the movement of water, hydropower, and change this energy from falling water into electrical energy.
Bioenergy comes from burning organic matter from plants, called biomass. Stoves change energy from burning biomass into electrical and thermal energy.
Renewable energy sources. There is always new sunlight, wind, water and biomass. They are unlimited and they will never run out in the future. They don't pollute the air or water.
Renewable energy is cleaner for our planet. They are better for the environment.
Energy in an eco-house. This is a wind turbine. It generates electricity for the house. This is a water wheel. The water falls on it and moves the wheel. That generates electricity. These are solar panels. They heat water.